You know, the scripture says, as your days, so shall your strength be. And I'm sure that's true for David and for all of us. The Lord has our lives in his hands. Sarah Berchtold is a remarkable young woman from California who a few years ago really had a sense of calling from the Lord to care for children in Romania. I'm not going to tell her story. I'm going to let her tell the story. But first of all, welcome, Sarah.
Oh, thank you.
Is this your first time in Canada?
No, I've been here before.
You've been here before?
Yeah.
But you haven't been on Huntley Street before?
No, this is the first
well,
time.
welcome. Good to have you.
Well, thank you.
Now, how is it that a young gal from California ends up not only working in Romania, but with a residence permit there and so involved with a ministry called Firm Foundations Romania?
That's correct.
How did this happen?
Oh, well, I mean, it was a God thing. In 2001, I was going through a real difficult time in my life. I was 23 and I needed a change. And so my mentors sat me down and they said, Sarah, we want to suggest Youth with a Mission because you love to travel, you love to help people, you love meeting people, and we think that you need to broaden your Christian worldview. And at first I was like, this is not for me. I don't stand on the corner passing out Christian tracts. And I was very opposed to it. But then after some scriptures that confirmed that I should go, I ended up going to do my discipleship training school in England. And then after that was finished, I went back to the States. I felt on edge. I felt like this is not my place. God told me to go to East Germany to do a leadership school through Youth with a Mission. And the outreach was actually to Romania. There were two teams. The two teams were split up. One was going to the Philippines, one was going to Romania. And I said, I want to go to the Philippines, you know. I want to help homeless with the beach right there, you know, not Romania, you know. And I actually told the team, I don't want to go. I don't think I can handle poverty. And I said, I think I'll go back to England and work with that community there. And the team left. I felt so convicted. I felt like, Sarah, here I am, in my stubborn ways. I flew down the next day, joined the team. I so loved what I was doing. I was working with the church there, met wonderful Romanian people, developed friendships. So after the outreach was finished, I went back to the States once again, and I told my family, I want to go back. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I want to go back. I didn't have any organization supporting me. I wanted to go back independently and make a trail.
So you did that. Pretty scary.
Oh, yeah.
All on your own?
All on my own. Mm-hmm.
So how did you start?
I moved in with my friends in the city called Brasov, Romania. It's a beautiful city. I started volunteering at the Children's Cancer Ward. I also I volunteered at a Christian school for missionaries. For the first 2 years, I was trying out different things. Was very unsettled. Meanwhile, I met my best friend, Steffi Fogel. She's from Germany, and she was homeschooling a pastor's son. And we became really close, and we both needed a place to stay. We ended up becoming roommates during our volunteer work. Yeah, and then we started going to the state orphanage at the time when it was open.
So the state orphanage, so this is where the huge need of Romanian orphans and children abandoned emerged in your life. What did you find when you started getting involved in these orphanage situations?
Well, at the time, before Romania joined the EU, children were allowed to stay in big homes from the age of 0 to 3. And, I mean, what do you find in an orphanage? Dozens of kids that are just roaming and knocking their heads against the walls and rocking and just basically tackling you for affection. Yeah. And so there were several other volunteers through different organizations volunteering at the time. Yeah, Steffi and I, we go in each day. And Steffi actually adopted a child from this orphanage. Yeah, and so it's a long story. I could go on.
Yeah, for sure. Now, yeah, and our time is short. Now, you founded Firm Foundations basically on the basis of that old hymn, How Firm a Foundation.
That's right.
Which is a great title. So what's happened since then? What are you doing now with Firm Foundations?
Right. Well, after the orphanage closed down in 2005 due to the EU.
The EU being the European Union.
Right. We knew the children were going someplace, the children under the age of 3. And so we decided to walk into the state hospital, children's hospital, that's located nearby to the orphanage. And what we found were abandoned children. And not only were they abandoned, they were wrapped in 7 layers of rags with strings. And I remember walking through the hospital, and the stench was so overwhelming. The paint were falling; it was falling off the walls. There was, and the eerie thing is that there was not one sound of a baby crying. Right. And this is a big hospital. And so what we ended up doing is we asked the nurses and the doctors, can we bring in diapers with our own money? Because, I mean, it was terrible for these children. They couldn't even lay back down. Their head was propped up. And so they said yes, and they adored it because the nurses had to, tie the strings. They're getting arthritis, and that was our key, was the diapers.
Start with diapers.
Yep. And we developed a relationship with the staff because in Romania, it's hard for them to trust. They've been through many years of communism, and so we started going in each day saying, hey, here's our bag of diapers, and they loved it, and that was our key. And then I contacted my family. They started a diaper drive. Steffi contacted her German Oma, her grandmother, and she was the one that first wrote a check for 100 euros, and the diaper drive began. So they call me the diaper queen. Yeah.
Well, there's some pretty basic needs that all human beings have, especially babies, and one is for hygiene. And when they've been abandoned, there's no hygiene. I'm sure a lot of these babies had been lying in their own excrement and urine for maybe days, if not weeks.
Yeah, diaper rashes.
Diaper rashes, big time.
Yeah.
So this has led to what?
This has led to supplying the Children's Hospital, the entire Children's Hospital, with over 56,000 diapers a year.
Now, are we talking disposables or cloth diapers?
Disposable.
Disposables.
And this is all funding from outside of this. We fundraise for this. And it also led to an international volunteer program where volunteers from around the world, we've had pilots, doctors, psychologists from all, denominations, male and female. They come and they hold these children and they feed and change the children that are left in the hospital and provide just basic play therapy. And they become the surrogate mothers and fathers for these kids.
My wife and I have had a little bit to do with orphanages in Bulgaria, and I know exactly what you're talking about in terms of the decrepit situation these kids are in, and the state provides the Bulgarian orphans with 1 diaper a day. I mean,
not enough.
not enough.
Yeah.
But your ministry, I mean, it's kind of, I think of Jesus washing the feet of the disciples. I mean, this is just a basic need that you're providing, and I'm not surprised that so many people are responding. Do you have a website? What is it?
Yep. www.firmfoundationsromania.com.
Firmfoundationsromania.com. Firmfoundationsromania.com. And you might want to log on to that, friends. Now, tell me about the Roma. I've spent a lot of time in Europe, and I'm fully aware of the gypsies. They're in various Western countries as well as former Eastern countries. Persona non grata, basically despised and rejected by everybody. Right. Are some of these kids you're working with Roma kids?
Yes, primarily.
Primarily Roma kids?
Primarily.
And is this one of the reasons why they've been abandoned?
Yes, it's primarily they're abandoned or left in the hospital. They have parents because the parents do not have the adequate funds to either come and pick up their child, or it has become a temporary home because they have so many other children in their little huts or shacks that they think, oh, they're getting better. They're taken care of there. They're getting food. They're warm. Have clothes, and this is a big problem, the Roma community, and this is what needs to change.
So what involvement, if any, do the churches have with your work, the churches in that area of Romania? And are they making any headway at all with Roma people in general, the churches?
I believe that there are churches that are making headway, and they're trying their best. They're trying. But it's not, of course, it's going to take a miracle to change the situation. It's really, the government needs to step in, make new laws, restrict how many children they can have per family. And the churches need to go in and support the youth and say that there's hope. You don't have to stay in this village. There's hope, and that's where we're working with the teenage boys and girls. We have a mentor program, educational program. We also have a give back program where we work with the parents. We educate them. Some of them, they don't even know how to sign their name. And so, yeah, we're working with all ages with this local community.
Would the general populace resent what you're doing, that you're actually lifting the spirit and the standard for Romas?
You know, in the beginning, they would all say, they're hopeless. Yeah. What are you doing? You know, they just beg and steal. Yeah. Now, the most awesome thing that God is doing is that the Romanian community is starting to volunteer with us and working with the Roma community.
Now, this is major, right?
This is huge.
Yeah.
This is a mentality change.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is my goal, is to pass on what we do to the Romanians, because they don't have the concept of volunteering. And now we have numerous Romanian volunteers saying, can I work with you? Can I tutor your teenagers? And this is big.
Did you ever imagine that when you changed that first diaper, that this was the beginning of culture and nation building? I mean, this is huge. No. But this is how the Lord works, right?
Yeah.
You just do the obedient thing, and it leads to great things.
And I never thought I would be still living in Romania after 10 years, when I actually wanted to just get out of there, you know. And
wow.
you know, it takes a team. I have a wonderful team working with me. They're on the front lines right now. I'm retreating here to communicate, but this is the team. It's
That's
about
awesome.
a body of Christ.
Sarah Berchtold, you'll hear more about this girl as time goes on. Firmfoundationsromania.com, right? Log on and check out more about it. Now, you're going to sing a song for us.
Yep.
So why don't you just get on off here, and while you're getting set, go ahead.
All right.
Thanks for coming our way.
Thank you.
And you're going to sing for us a beautiful song that is it called Unwanted, I think, and it's about one of these Romanian children. Am I right? Madam Producer? I am right. Okay. Well, here's Sarah. Enjoy the song.